Hey, Facebook, it's Brent. Tuesday. I don't even know what time it is. 5:11 p.m. Taking a little break here from my work. I just wanted to go over a few pet peeves, as I would call them. The first thing that bothers me that I see a lot on Facebook and in person is people who are trying to give advice, especially relationship advice, when their relationship is nothing but a mess. That's what I don't understand. Your relationship is awful. You've been through 100 boyfriends slash girlfriends, and you're going to try to give somebody else advice on how to make their relationship better? No. That falls into a category for saying, if you go into counseling, marriage counseling, and your counselor is not even married or never was married. Like, you're going to give me advice? This isn't for me. I've never been to marriage counseling. I don't believe in it. I believe that things could be worked out between you and your wife or slash husband on your own with just two people. You don't need to bring a stranger into it. I don't believe in psychiatrists either. I'm trying to mess with your mind. I'm not with it. I just don't. You got people out there, trying to give advice on children when they don't even have children. Why? Because they read a book or they studied a book. Get the hell out of here, man. You don't have any parenting advice unless you actually doing it or did it. Then I'll take advice. But for someone that don't have any kids, that's because you went to college and got a degree. No, I'm not gonna. No, I will work it out on my own with my own children or church. I would do it through talk to the pastor for advice. If he had children, I'm not gonna talk to a single pastor. If he doesn't have any children on children advice, it doesn't make any sense. That stuff really bothers me. Another thing that bothers me is people who don't work that can work. It is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but if you can go driving around and you can go to restaurants out to eat and you're walking on your own and you're able to go on vacation and do all these things, you're not disabled. Go to work. I see old people at Walmart. I've seen people with one leg with a prosthetic leg working. I've seen people in wheelchairs working. Go to work and stop being lazy. That nothing makes me more pissed off than that. And us taxpayers have to pay them, and then they're going to get their checks on the first or the second because they're disabled and they can only work part-time. If you can do other things, if you can get up and walk around and go places, you can work. Very simple. Very simple. And that falls into the category of lazy people. Another thing that bothers me is people who will sit there at the grocery store, Walmart, whatever, and waiting for somebody to move out of a parking spot so they could pull in. This is not a handicapped person. I'm talking regular people waiting for a spot to open because they're too lazy to park down there at the other side of the parking lot where there's wide open spaces, 100 parking spaces where I park. Walk in, they will sit there and just wait to get that parking spot closer to the store so they don't have to walk as far. That really bothers me. Another thing that bothers me is people who complain all the time about how bad their life is when you see that their life really isn't bad. They got a roof over their head, they got a job, they've got children, they've got food, and they still complain and complain and complain when there's people out there that really are starving and homeless, and I don't feel sympathy for people that complain about their life when it's really not that bad. And don't sit there and say, well, don't judge people until you in their shoes. Man, believe me, I can see with my own eyes some of these people and the things that they have, and the jobs that they have, and they should be blessed to have it, and stop taking things for granted and stop complaining. Because my favorite saying, which is very true, God giveth and God taketh away. If you take advantage or for granted things that He has blessed you with, a husband, a wife, car, job, whatever, and you're going to constantly complain, He's going to take it away. And if He doesn't, I hope He does. So that way you can see how hard it really is, and you'll be begging to go back to that life. That brings me to the subject of children these days. When they complain that they're bored, and they complain that they don't, get everything they want. When they have iPhones, tons of video games, laptops, tablets, cable TV, four-wheelers, bicycles, all that stuff, and they're still not happy. I can recall when I was a child, at times, just sharing a 10-speed with my brother. Big deal. I was happy. I was always out playing basketball, football, out in the woods. I was never bored, and I never complained about my life at that time. And I'm not gonna, I wasn't always like this. There was times when, I would take things for granted, and you know what, they were taken away. And I learned my lesson. Believe me, I've learned my lesson. Another pet peeve of mine is drivers, bad drivers. For instance, I know I said this the other night. You're driving on a turnpike, you see a sign, it says, right lane closed, 2,000 feet, or whatever the case may be. Big arrow to merge. So what do? I do what I'm supposed to do. I merge, and I'm driving. And right when you're about to get to the part where the road is closed, the lane is closed, I should say, you see people flying up alongside to try to cut in front. I won't let them. I don't care how mad they get. I don't care what happens. I will ride the bumper of the person in front of me, not dangerously, but enough to not let somebody merge in between me and that person. If you cannot wait or follow directions like everybody else, get to the back of the line. That's the way I look at it. I can go on forever on pet peeves, believe me. But these are things that drive me crazy, and I'm sure they drive a lot of other people crazy also. And I'm going to come to one last pet peeve is people who smell. I'm sorry, if you can't take care of yourself, take a shower, put some deodorant on, whatever the case may be, people with BO is disgusting, man. Disgusting. You can't smell yourself. For instance, like myself, summertime, you're out in the yard, you're working all day, and you're sweaty. Man, I could smell myself. Boom, in, shower, out. You know what I mean? I cannot stand people that don't take care of personal hygiene. It is gross. It is absolutely gross. Do you know how many times that I witness, going to public bathrooms, or people coming over to my house or wherever, and they go to the bathroom, and sometimes number two, and they don't wash their hands. They come right out. You go in the bathroom. The sink's not even wet from them washing their hands because they didn't. It is gross. Wash your hands. Take care of yourself. There's no reason. I mean, of course, unless you're a homeless person, which, and you don't have access to a shower, there's no reason why you should smell. It's gross. It really is. Another pet peeve of mine is, I know I've said this before, people who put themselves up on a huge pedestal and they think that they're just way better than everybody else because of their looks, or because of maybe they came from money, or maybe because they have money. Now, I know people that have money, a lot more than I, huge houses, nice cars, that don't act like that. So you can't tell me that they're all like that. And just because you're pretty, or you keep your hair nice, or you're skinny, or you have big breasts, or you're a guy with a six-pack and muscles, and you ain't no better than fat me. You know what I mean? You're just not. I don't care how many times you want to try to prove it to me that you're better. Nobody is better than nobody. We were all created equal. It really pisses me off when people put themselves up on a pedestal, like me. For instance, me, I got a decent job. I've worked hard. I've been at this job for 13 years. And I worked up the ladder, and I still got a long ways to go. But I'm going to be honest with you. You can call my boss. You could call my work if you think I'm lying. I have never, ever called in sick. Never. Every operation, I had 4 surgeries on my throat. I tried to schedule them for a Friday so I could take a personal day, which was owed to me, or a vacation day, I should say. Which I did so. And then, of course, I take my paid vacations, which I get 3 weeks paid vacation a year. And, but I've never called in sick. No, I'm not saying go into work all coughing and hacking and get other people sick. Me, I would just stay away from people because I'm smart. You know what I mean? If I touch paperwork or something and I want to go hand it to somebody, I use hand sanitizer. I don't go coughing on people. I stay in my office. And there's times my boss would be like, hey man, you look like shit, go home. And I went home, but I never called in sick because I didn't want to screw my company like that. You know what I mean? Like just calling in and leaving them stranded where they don't have, somebody to fill my position that day. And it could be a busy day, even back when I was detailing cars. I didn't want to leave the other detailer with all the work. I would go to work and I would fight through it and I would struggle through it. And you have people that complain that they don't have enough money. Well, I understand that. I live week to week myself. But when I was younger and paying child support, stuff like that, I worked 2 jobs. That's what I did. I went and picked up a second job. So I did construction from 8 in the morning until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And then I went straight to my next job, which was 7 o'clock at night until 1 in the morning, working in the factory. So I worked all day from 8 to 4. Then I had 3 hours to get to my new job, took my time, or my second job took my time. Stopped to get some dinner. Then when I got off at 1 o'clock a.m., I went home. I was sleeping by 2:30, and I was up by 6:30, 2:30. Yeah, I got 4 hours of sleep a night. And that's what I did. You got to do what you got to do in this world to make it. If your life is so terrible, where people complain about their life, get up and do something about it. I did, and you can too. These are just some things that I had to get off my mind, some things that I, want to talk about, and I would really like to see, what you guys think. Keep the personal messages coming, they're great. Comments on any opinion whatsoever that you have, I'm welcome to hear it. That's why I do the videos. I've been getting, tons of PMs on my videos, and I really do appreciate it, and that's why I continue to do the videos. I want to continue to do them if I wasn't asked to continue doing them. So here you go. You have a video, almost 15 minutes for those that's been asking for it. These are my opinions, and I have so much more. I'm going to end up going back to, what's trending and doing those type of videos, but there just hasn't been much, if it's about politics, I don't know anything about it, don't want to. They're all crooks. I don't vote because I believe that our votes don't matter. They really don't. We go to this thing and we pull these levers or whatever you guys do, and you think that those are submitted, and whoever becomes governor or president are the ones that have the most votes. The government will pick who they want. It's very simple. I don't think we have say in any of that. We think we do, but I really don't think we have say. I think it's just a big scam. Government. That's another thing that I don't believe in government. I really don't. I don't know what they do. I mean, I understand government jobs. I get that. You were but as far as all these different see, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I can't really get too deep into it. But basically, I think they're all crooks. I really do. They make a fortune, a big amount of money, and give us little. And that's the story of all of our lives, and it's just not fair. And my last subject before I close out is people who go around saying, F the police, F the police. And I don't want to hear that. What happens if something happens with your wife or your child, or what are you going to do? You're going to call the police. Oh, then they're good enough, huh? And these people, oh, police brutality. Man, I am sure that officer probably told you 5, 6 times to put your hands down or to shut up or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a difference between, police brutality and existing, or I can't come up with the word, resisting arrest. You know what I mean? If a policeman is, there's exceptions, of course, there is bad police out there, but to the most part, we need police in this world, and if we didn't have it, it would be just way worse than it already is. I don't even want to hear people say F the police. If you're going to say F the police, don't use them. Okay? So if something bad happens to your house is robbed, your car is stolen, your phone is stolen, something happens to your wife or your kids, don't call them, because you just said F the police. You don't need them, do you? Do it yourself. Okay, those are my pet peeves. I got a lot more. Please, like I said, leave comments below and send me as many personal messages as you like. Thanks, Facebook. Have a good day. Love you so.